Hey, let me use your comment to give you a little bit of lesson. Last term, when Donald Trump was the president, and he went on Turning Point USA during the conference, and he said, Article 2 of the United States Constitution gives me the power to do whatever I want. So I was like, wow, that guy's really stupid. And so I don't know where you got this from, if you were MAGA or where you picked this up from. Here's the thing. In the United States, the founding fathers were running away from the tyranny of the king, the monarchy. What was different about before the Declaration of Independence and after, when they decided to found the Declaration of Independence and eventually the Constitution and the Bill of Rights? Okay, before there was a king, one person. They had the right. They didn't have to listen to judges. They didn't have to. They had the right to decide who gets taxed, who didn't get taxed. They decided what money gets paid where. They also decided judge, jury, execution. It all came from the king. The king decided if you were guilty and not, and the king prosecuted you. That's why they say no kings. The United States founders, the United States said, we know what, we're going to have three co-equal branches of government. Article 3 is for the courts. Article 2 is for the executive, and Article 1 is for Congress. They said, Congress, you're going to be the ones in charge of declaring war, appropriating funds, say how we fund the government. We're going to tax people, but everyone's going to have a representative government. So all of the states get 2 senators, and then the House representative is based on your population, and you're going to get that representation, because we didn't want taxation without representation. That's what the Boston Tea Party was over. They threw away the tea because they were getting taxed, and they had no representative in England. People just making decisions on their own with no representation. So that's why we have it, and they said 3 co-equal branches. There's no king. The executive is bound by the Congress authorities. He cannot spend money unless Congress gives him money. Now, they did say there are some emergencies. There's an emergency instance, whatever. That's why Donald Trump declared an emergency at the border. That's why he was able to build his wall, because he determined it was an emergency. Otherwise, funding for that wall would have to come from Congress. The reason why he's going through all these states and saying, it's because he's declaring emergency power. He's saying, I have to be able to invade the states because there's a rebellion. And the Congress made the law. It says no, because Congress makes the laws. You can only do that if certain parameters are met, and they're not met, and Donald Trump is just using that as an excuse. Now, Article 3, the judges, the district court judges, can tell the congressional people at all levels, from the Congress to the state to the lower level, or the executive, from the president to the governor, to they interpret the laws. When they say something, Donald Trump abides. So whether you know it or not, they abide. They might, him and all, they resist, and I see they're resisting a lot in Congress. Eventually, they resist. They do, eventually. Then equally, also, the only person that can overrule them is the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court. That's it. But as a district court judge, they can indeed tell the president what to do. That is your job. Constitution says their job is to interpret the law up and down across the United States. But they're the first tier, but it's always their job. So Article 2 does not give the president the right to do whatever he wants, no matter what he says, no matter what you believe. That's wrong. Civics 101.